All right, so we are, like I said, in the place where we're going to strengthen the relationship. How will we do this? And here's tonight's agenda. We're going to establish mindset. Everything starts with thinking. And then we're going to identify the goals. We're going to devise a plan. I'm going to ask for I'm going to give a recap, and I'm going to ask for ahas. And then we're going to go through your daily success system. Sound simple enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, the people that I can see on my screen right now are Joe, Dane Baxter, and Autumn Wells. So if for some reason you feel like I'm picking on you, it's because I can see your faces. There will be extra credit for all of your hard work tonight.
You don't see my face?
Well, I hope you see me because I see you.
Oh, my screen is very small, so there's only 3 people. But as I go through, I will see you, and if you speak, I will see you as well. So let's make certain that everyone is paying attention and jumping in. Is that fair?
That's fair. I hope you see me.
I see you, Stephanie. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Let's start with a really great quote from Gary Keller from the Shift book. Know that growth comes from clarity, priorities, and focused action. Somebody come off mute and tell me what that means to them.
You have to have a plan and you have to work that plan.
I couldn't say it better, right? That's focus. That's a clear, focused, understanding your priorities and putting a plan together and working it, right? Focused action. Thank you. All right. So first, I want to make sure that, guys, bear with me. This mouse I have is brand new. I think it has brand new batteries in it. So if I jump from one page to the next, it's only because it's got a huge trigger. So here we go. Leads versus contacts. Has anybody seen this before? Seen this diagram?
Yeah.
Karen Jackson, I saw you shaking your head.
Yes, I've seen it before. I think we've all seen it before.
Okay, so you guys have all seen this. Just give me in your 10 to 30 second explanation of what this means. Please. Yes, Carrie, yes.
Okay, so that means you capture your leads go into a database, and you have your leads, and your leads turn into contacts. Your contacts are converted into, oh, dear me, maybe I need to have a review on this.
You're right there.
Pardon?
You got it.
Oh, and then your contacts, from your leads to your contacts, it goes into
Clients.
to your clients, excuse me. And then your clients come out, they can either refer you, and it goes back around again with your referrals back into the database, and repeat the same process over and over again.
Over and over again. And the top agents, this is what they do. They either have new and repeat business from that client, or they're getting referrals, and that person remains in their database. The trick about the database is this, folks. Please understand this. Each and every one of our databases has what we call a level of attrition, because most of those people in your database know anywhere from 6 to 8 other realtors. So what happens when those folks have those folks in their database and they're staying in touch with them, right? And they're strengthening the relationship. That's the piece that it's huge when you have those folks in your database, is when they're strengthening the relationship, and that day comes when they're ready to sell or purchase. Who are they calling? It's a little thing called recency bias, right? So it's a person that they last talked to. If you're that person that's staying in touch with them, you should be the person that they're calling to do the business with. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just understanding how this works is the ground floor of understanding a business. And it's just not our real estate businesses. This is just any business that's working with clients. I would imagine that if you owned a pizza shop, would this still be true? The exact same thing right here, would that be true? I see the head nods, yes, a thumbs up and all that, yes, yes. That's the absolute truth, that's business. So we're gonna move to the next one when we talk about the difference of leads versus contacts. So your leads are people that you have a one-way conversation with. So one of the things that my first coach told me is that everybody's a lead. If I get on the subway, every single person on that subway is a lead. Whether they're a buyer, a seller, a renter, they're a lead, right? They become a contact when you've engaged in a two-way conversation. For the sake of what we do, it's a two-way conversation in regards to real estate. And then it's a value-based relationship becomes established. When you share with them the value of your business value proposition, they then become a contact. And what we need to do, or we should do, and what we're working on tonight is making sure we're taking our contacts and putting those folks from contact, and we're converting them into buyers and sellers. Fair? Questions about any of that?
I got a question. So you said the lead is your right to have a one-way conversation. So what that mean? You just like passing out flyers or something?
Correct. So that's someone that, I have a newsletter that goes out in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And all those people that are getting my newsletter, those are leads,
Okay.
right?
Got it.
And they very well all could be in my database.
Okay.
But until I contact them and we have a two-way conversation about real estate, they're simply leads.
I
Thank
remember
you, Denise. Good question.
I
I'm sorry?
remember years ago, someone told me the world is your marketplace. So everyone you meet, you introduce yourself and tell them what you do.
That is the best way to stay in business. Great point, Melody. To that point, Melody, you basically said it. Focus on building relationships and take market share. Did everybody hear Melody say that? Because she jumped a slide ahead. No, I'm just kidding. She did not. She did not. But that's a God honest truth, right? Focus on building relationships because we are in a relationship business. I'll say it again. We are in a relationship business. Okay. What are some of the ways that we might build relationships?
Wishing them on their birthdays.
One more time, Joe.
Wishing them on their birthdays.
Wishing them happy birthday. Absolutely. What else?
Sending a holiday card.
Sending a holiday card. Okay.
Just check in. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say sending them information within their community that's valuable to them.
Yes, absolutely. So you said something there. Was that Rob? That was Robin. Robin, what you said there is something that often gets missed in real estate. When you're sending people things, the question you have to ask yourself, is this useful and needed? Because then it becomes valuable, right? Sending them things that are valuable. I, just like many agents, was the person who would send people recipes all the time. Now, here's the thing. I had no idea whether they could cook or not. But now they have a recipe, and it may be somebody that doesn't like to cook at home, but I gave them the recipe. Is that useful and needed for that person?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
If they do not cook, would a recipe be useful and needed?
Oh, if they
I'm
do
gonna
not.
say no.
No, it would still be needed because they know somebody who do cook.
Well,
Okay.
it would give them food for thought.
I appreciate the play on words. I appreciate that.
That would be on the eye of the beholder. Is that
Right.
recipe something they say or they just discard it? Because if they discard it, then it's meaningless. But if they
Right.
save it, that means something.
I think
And by they saving the recipe, that might be your contact information also with the recipe, because that's how I used to get emails from the realtor that is responsible for me being on this business.
Humberto, I love that. What I want to do is build a relationship, right? I don't simply want to be in their memory. I want to build a relationship. And what I'm not saying that that's not the case, because you're absolutely right. What you're talking about right there is what we call mind share, right? You're taking mind share because you know what? Your recipe card's on the refrigerator. That's exactly what, sorry, exactly what we're looking for. Yes. But when I want to build a relationship, I want you guys to, if you're writing things down, I want you to write this down. If you know me, show me. Right?
If you know me.
So Humberto, what do you do in your spare time?
Watch a lot of sport. I mean,
Watch,
all kinds of sports.
you watch all types of
Rugby,
sports.
soccer, anything is welcome. I don't like to watch the news. I mean, I watch the news, but I love sports.
Okay. So what would you rather me send you? Would you rather me send you that recipe, or would you rather me send you a magnet with your favorite sports team's schedule that you can put up in order to have that on your refrigerator?
Either or. Because in my case, I am a difficult person. So the realtor that showed me the path and sponsored me and guided me through my first investment turned into my very good friend. So it all started in an open house. So he sent us calendar for Dodgers because we moved from California, and then he sent us recipes, monthly 12 recipes with a calendar the following year, and I saved everything because he meant a lot to me. So
I asked the wrong
maybe we
question. I asked the wrong question. What would be more valuable to you? Would it be the recipe, or would it be tickets to your favorite team?
would tickets.
If I know you, I'll show you. If I can do either one, I'm going to do the thing that helps you understand that I know who you are and what you truly enjoy and where you'd like to spend your time. And that's all I'm saying around that, right? And when I want to build a relationship, I want to build a relationship. Joe, please go ahead.
Yes, so if you're doing like I get it, it's all about relationships, but even like at the initial stage, wouldn't it be a safer bet to send like save your farming, for example, right? In that case, then it would be a safer bet to send out like a calendar magnet or something, or conversions magnet,
100%, because those people are leads.
Yeah, okay.
But when I get to the point of contacts, where I've
Got
had
it.
a
Okay.
two-way conversation, and I know that you like sports, and I've been listening to what you've told me,
Yes.
now I have to show you that I've been listening. And that's one of the ways that we do that. And sometimes it doesn't require a tangible gift. It's simply saying, hey, Humberto, did you catch the score of that game the other night? That was amazing. I'm so glad that your team won. I was thinking about you.
Yeah. Yeah. It shows you're paying attention. Yes. I've
Yes.
got it. Yes.
Yep. Okay. But thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys playing all in. All right, we're gonna start with the mindset. Today's conversation is tomorrow's transaction. What does that mean? Gabby, you got your hand raised. Go ahead.
Question for you. Like, if you have a lead and that lead, is not a contact yet, you haven't built that relationship, but you built that rapport during your lead. And I'm having a hard, it's been a week since I met her at Best Buy. But she's really interested in like things around here, but she doesn't really know like the place around here. So I've gone into Command and some other Canva to figure out any templates that I could do to send it to her. But then I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to overwhelm her with all this house stuff. But, as a mother, I could relate to her. So I'm just wondering, like, I've been thinking over this. I've been wondering, like, is it better to just give her a text, like how you said, "Oh, I've been thinking about you. Maybe you could, take your kids here. So rather than real estate driven, more of a personal relationship.
100%.
Okay.
100%. Hey, I was thinking about you and ... Right?
Yeah, like thinking about about your kids, and I thought they would enjoy this, and blah blah blah. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank
That's-
you.
That's useful and needed. There we go.
May I ask a question, please? I'm sorry.
100%.
Sort of kind of piggybacking off what she just said. I have a client, well, excuse me, I have a lead. It's in between a lead and a contact because we did have some communication about her being a buyer. However, this was many months ago. The reason why it's been many months is because at that time she wasn't ready. She was expecting. So the baby, and I'm just going to go back to many months ago, the baby is supposed to be born September, which is, 2 months ago, almost about a month ago. So I don't want to come across, well, how did the delivery go? How was the baby? I definitely want to stay away from that because I don't know what the personal situation is. But then also, I do not want to say, oh, come in as making it seem like, okay, well, you should have had the baby. You ready to get moving. I have an idea what I want to send, basically just touching base, but do you have any other ideas?
It could be a text message, it could be a phone call, it could be an email, it could be a letter in the mail, a handwritten note that says, and this is, I'm just gonna paraphrase this. Karen, been thinking about you since we met. Just checking in to see how everyone's doing, making sure everyone's happy and healthy. And I just want to let you know I'm here.
That's what I thought. Okay, because that's what I was been thinking about also. I thought you may have had something else. Thank you very much.
You're right on track. Typically the most humane way of doing things is going to be the right way, right? Yes, yes. All right. All right. So today's conversation is tomorrow's transaction. That conversation you had a few months ago, right, Karen? That is tomorrow's transaction. And this just because that person is not transacting with you right now with a newborn doesn't mean that they won't when that newborn starts to make that house that they're in too small to live in, right? So understanding that, right? I don't know of anyone, and I've been doing this about 10 years now, and I've studied this industry for all that time and plus, and I can't tell you of anyone who met someone on a Friday and sold them a house on a Friday, right? Typically, a conversation today leads to the business down the road. That's our business, right? Absolutely. Folks that are in the chat, just understand that I am checking that periodically. If you have a question in there, it's going to be able to serve you a little bit better if you come off chat and raise your hand and let me answer those questions. If you are putting useful comments in there, then you know what? I'll do my best to highlight those as well. Fair? All right. So Gary Keller talks about this, and he says, once you meet your new contacts, you either do business with them immediately or you don't. Either way, once you've met them, you put them in your database and stay in touch with them forever. Forever is a very long time.
I agree with that statement
Tell me more.
because throughout a person's life, changes occur. Either the family gets bigger or it gets smaller and they become empty nesters. And now the house that they wanted enough space for is now too big. Now they want to downsize. And then it's like if you do a really good job and you just kind of keep in touch, they'll kind of become reoccurring customers and they'll always call you when they have a real estate need.
Stephanie, I'm going to take everything you just said and agree with it. And then I'm going to say this. By staying in touch with folks and doing what we call nurturing the relationship, they become your forever clients. You have a client for life. And just like you said, they will refer you people. It is the most cost, what's the best way to say this? It is the most cost-effective way to do business. When you get somebody that sends you a text message and says, hey, I just talked to Stephanie and she said you were the greatest realtor ever. I need to sell my house and buy one.
Free advertising at its best.
You want your name in places that you'll never be. In a good light, right? So when people are talking behind your back, they're talking about how great of a real estate agent you are. Quick story, I have a buddy whose name is Jeremy Bowers. Jeremy Bowers is a great guy. He works in a different county, but he works on the main line. And I go to this big event and it's this, high to do thing. And I get there and I meet a gentleman and he says, oh, you're in real estate? I said, yeah. He says, do you know Jeremy Bowers? I said, yeah, actually I do. He's a good friend of mine. He goes, well, Jeremy Bowers is the best real estate agent, blah, 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 blah. And meanwhile, I'm talking to people, I'm trying to do my thing to get clients, right? And I'm prospecting. This guy's over here saying, Jeremy Bowers, Jeremy Bowers, Jeremy Bowers, Jeremy Bowers, right? In a place that Jeremy Bowers will never be. Because he gave him such a great experience in his real estate transaction that he's bringing Jeremy Bowers' name into places that he'll never be. And that's what we want. Raving fans. We want raving fans. We want folks that look to us about real estate. When they think real estate, they say your name. Good litmus test on that is to say to someone, when you think of real estate, who do you think of? And they're going to give you a name. And you can only hope that it's yours. And if it's not, the next question should be, tell me more about that. Why is that person your go-to real estate person? And then they're going to give you a bunch of things. And then my next question would be, great. Now, if I do all those things and more, do I have the opportunity to replace that person as your person when it comes to real estate? I want to be your agent of choice. Does that make sense? Is it helpful?
Absolutely, absolutely makes sense.
Okay. All right. So we're going to identify some goals, right? That's our next step. We've established a mindset, right? We're all in the mindset. All right, here we go. So we're going from lead generation, lead follow-up, and lead conversion into the transaction. We want to, now that we've turned those leads into contacts, and Karen, I want to just go back 1 second. That person is a contact for you that we talked about. You've talked about her, you talked about real estate with her, you had a two-way conversation. That person's a contact. Please treat them as such, right?
Does it matter how long that conversation should be? Okay.
Nope. So our goal now is to convert contacts to close business. Does this say immediately? Does anybody see that? Does anybody say, does this read convert contacts to close business immediately?
No.
We're in a business that often has to require slow play. And the reason why we can do that is because we're going to have enough people in our pipeline, in our database, in that funnel, in order to make certain that somebody like this young lady who was expecting and just had a baby, right? They may not be able to move for another year, right? But when they do, Karen will have done what she needs to do in order to make certain that she's the person they call when they're ready. And not the name they see on Zillow. Don't get me started. Okay? And when I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but we're going to stay top of mind, right? We want to stay top of mind. When Karen sends that email, text, handwritten letter, or whatever that looks like, she becomes top of mind. Because I can assure you that it's unlikely that the other realtors that young lady may have met in the time since have done that. So, number of agents interviewed before choosing an agent. Sellers that choose one agent. 74% of sellers will choose the first agent they meet. 15% will interview a second and choose that one. And then 11% will choose the third, fourth, fifth, and whoever knows. Why do you think that is, that you get down to past the second agent?
They
There's not
didn't
a
buy.
second chance.
I'm sorry, say that again, Humberto.
There's not a second chance for a first-time opportunity.
Okay. I heard another answer. Who else we got?
I said they didn't vibe or the energy was off. They didn't click with that person.
Okay. What
They
else?
didn't,
What else could be a reason?
they didn't keep communication going.
That's a big one.
Or they didn't deliver whatever they promised.
They didn't come through on their value proposition.
No
Right.
follow-ups.
No follow-up, right? There's several reasons why that could be the case. Another one could be, that those people there were looking for a deal, right? They met with the first agent. That agent said, hey, here's my value proposition. This is the commission that, I charge on my behalf, right? Understand it's negotiable, but I stand behind this because I'm going to deliver on it and I want to be paid accordingly. So they go to the second person. That person has that same stance till they get to the third, fourth, and fifth person that says, you know what, I'm willing to discount it because I don't value my business or my services. Happens from time to time. I'm not saying that's bad. I have no ill will or judgment around it, but it does happen. Buyers, similar situation, 75% meet with the first buyer's agent and they work with them. 15%, it's a second person. And the 10%, everyone else. Same story. So what does this tell you? Where do you want to be?
You want to be the first agent.
And how do you know that you will be the first agent?
By preparing a good presentation.
And?
Well, by interviewing the client.
Okay.
Referral basis.
Referral base?
By keeping relationships open.
There it is.
Keeping a contact with the person.
Everything
Contact.
Everything I heard, and, right? The more people you speak to, the more likely you're the first person they spoke to. The more people you speak to, the more likely you're the first person they spoke to. Right? We don't know where everybody is in their real estate journey, but the more people we speak to, the more likelihood that we are there for the beginning of it. Yes?
I agree. I just had a similar situation. I was completing my assignment by going through my phone, sending out text messages, one alphabet per day, and Saturday just happened to be the L day. And so as I was sending out texts, I sent a text to someone just to let them know, I'm now a licensed realtor. And the first text I received back from the young lady was congratulations. And then the second text was, I need a house. And then my text to her was, well, give me a call whenever you're ready to start the process. And then she texts me back and says, I'm ready now. So then I called her to make sure that we were on the same page. And when I spoke to her, she was like, yeah, I'm living in an apartment. This is the last year that I want to be renting and I want to buy a house. I didn't know how to start the process. And since you just sent me this text, can you help me? Like, where do I get started? And I'm like, okay, sure, great. Let me connect you with my favorite lender. And then, he'll work out the numbers so we can kind of see where you are and then go from there. And I connected her with the lender so she can start the pre-approval process. And it freaked me out because I wasn't expecting that so quickly based on a text.
But had you not done that, that opportunity would have gone to somebody else at some other time. And don't feel bad about that because although it's good for you, it's better for her because you moved her into action around goals that she had. Right? Just something that you said that just sparks something, and I want to make certain that you know this, because if that worked for you once, it'll work for you again, and we can supersize that. Are you familiar with DTD2?
No.
DTD2 is do the database twice. It is something that we've created here at Keller Williams that takes away all of the call bias that we have, because I love your idea of getting from A to Z in your phone book, but we can get there faster. And each week there's 26 letters in the alphabet still, yes? They haven't added any? Okay. If anybody knows of any others in the alphabet that we use in English, then please share with me, because I do want to use those letters as well. Anyway, just kidding. I told you there'd be some humor. Come on, yo. But what I would say is this, right? DTD2, and you can Google this, you can chat GPT it. I love the sympathy laughs are coming through now. But what I would say is this, right? DTD2, it's the way that you take 2 letters of the alphabet, and each week you're calling those folks whose names start with those letters. So the first week, I believe it's DO or BE, right? Or HV, right? And you're going through your contacts inside of your database, and what you're going to do is call those people whose names start there, right? And because there's 26 letters, we can do that twice. DTD2, do the database twice, right? So that's one of those things. If you're working with a pro coach, a productivity coach, ask them about that. Get them to share that with you, right, folks? If you don't have a productivity coach in your market center, go to your team leader. I'm going to give my information at the end. If you can't find that information anywhere else, hit me up and I'll pull it out of the archives that I have. I would attempt to do it now, folks, but I do not want to derail what we got going on, because I feel like we're moving with ease. Any questions about this one here? Bianca?
Hello, good afternoon. Question for you. So do you feel like it's a turnoff to potential clients that you've never met, like you don't know them, but do you feel like it's a turnoff to let people know that you are a newer agent? Like, because I I kind of feel like if I tell people I'm newer, then they're gonna be like, oh well, I don't really want to work with you. You probably don't know what you're doing. So that's question one. And then question two is, I'm also a dual agent. I have a full-time job. So is it also another turnoff you feel to let people know that I work full-time and,
So
of course, do real estate later in the evening or on the weekends? Yeah.
do you know of any realtors that were born a realtor?
No.
So at one point in time, we were all brand new. Here's the beauty of what I've learned working with this company or for this company, is that you can put that behind you. What I would say when I first started was, hey, I'm Floyd. I work with the top agents in the market. I have the power of 100, and at the time it was 190 agents that are the top agents in the market. And my mentor is Mary Swanson. I'm sure you've heard of her. How can I help you? I work for the #1 real estate company in the world, and the #1 real estate company in this market.
Okay.
Right? Put the power of the company that you have behind you. Because if your market center is anything like my market center and the market centers that I've had the privilege of coaching and training, they're behind you. You are not an island unto yourself. There are companies where you get your license and, hey, do you have a license? Go sell real estate. Right? That is not the case here. You can explain to them, I'm going through some of the hardest training in the industry in order to best serve you.
Okay.
The other part of that is you're a dual career agent. That's what I heard you say.
Yes.
Okay. Is that something that you're telling everyone, or is that something that you're getting asked often?
No, I haven't. The only people that know that I'm a dual career agent are like people that know me. But I really haven't had the chance to interact with many people that don't know me as far as in like real estate related, and to like have that conversation with them. I do have my first showing this weekend with someone that I don't know. So I'm like, well, do you bring that up in conversation? Do you let them know that you're dual career agent?
You're
Do
not
you let
gonna
them
lie.
know that you
Yeah, you're just not gonna lie. I wouldn't.
Okay.
It's not something that I'm running and telling everyone. But if somebody asks me, yes, I do have another career as well. But I can assure you that your needs will be met. I work tirelessly to make sure that the needs of my clients are met. Like I said before, I am backed by my market center. That you will not be left in the cold needing something where I won't be able to serve you or my company will not be able to serve you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
Yep. You're good. Janan.
Yes, you actually pronounced it correctly. Thank you.
I get lucky
I
sometimes.
yeah, it's because it's unusual. I put it in the chat about a booklet. I attended a workshop last year. Wanda Russell, I don't know if you can see this. She was a dual career agent. She had, I think, a government job or something, and she was amazing. I highly recommend getting her little book. You can search for her on the internet. And to that gal that said she's a dual career agent, this will be really helpful. She was amazing.
I appreciate you sharing that.
She did it. She had a goal to make 3 times the amount in real estate that she made in her job, and then she was going to quit, and she did it.
What was the name of the book? I'm sorry.
It's called The Dual Career Real Estate Agent, and it's by Wanda Russell. She calls herself something. I forget what it was, but just look for Wanda Russell. You'll find her. I don't even know what brokerage she's with, but she was great.
So that's my story as well. I was a dual career agent to start. I worked in mental health in a school setting. So the population that I was serving, it was a lot of times at crisis level or some level of needing my full attention. So my phone rang with clients calling about things. I couldn't pick it up, right? And that was from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. every day, 5 days a week, I should say, right? But all those folks knew that if I didn't pick up to call Mary, because Mary was going to take care of it, because she was my mentor and she was in my business with me. And I had the same goals to be able to get out of my career, my previous career, in 1.5 years. And I did that. And I stuck around for another 1.5 years because I'm a loyal person, right? But yes, so understand that you're looking at proof positive that is doable. Cool. All right, I've gotten off track a little bit. I want to try to get us back on track because I want to get you guys out of here on time. At 7 o'clock, we are going to take a 4.5-minute break, and we'll meet right back here. Is that okay? Thank you. All right. Identifying goals. Leverage mindshare for referral business. We talked about mindshare earlier. We talked about things like refrigerator magnets and things like that. What are some other ways that we can identify as mindshare? Let me say that better. What are some other ways that we're showing up that people are saying real estate is equivalent to put your name here? So my clients, when we talk about real estate, when somebody talks about real estate, they'll go, yeah, but Floyd said, right? I got a newsletter from Floyd that said, right, when they're arguing with their friends at the bar or in a barbershop or their family at dinner, right? Floyd said, right? So what are some other ways that we can create mind share so that they're thinking about you?
So I use social media. I've been doing that a lot. Like today, I posted up the steps that it takes to buy a home, information for first-time home buyers or someone looking. And 2 people hit me up, and they hit me up previously about looking for something, but today they hit me up again, and I'm pretty sure it was due to my post. Like, oh yeah. Erica. Let me hit Erica up. So I've been trying to do that every other day, do something real estate related, whether it's in my story or whether it's sharing information.
I love that. And I'll tell you what, because I think Sarah Reynolds said this, people people forget about what you do for a living every 13 days.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah. So I just try to be resourceful because I've had people ask me questions. How do I buy a home like this? My credit is this. So when you show you are a resource, they'll definitely keep you in mind.
100%. And you gather that mind share. Joe.
Yes, I have a question. I missed the name of the person who just spoke, but I do have a question. So when you post something that's real estate related, um, are you getting like messages from people you don't know or mostly from your network?
Mostly people that I know, but I've had a few people just randomly ask me questions about how can I buy a property and I have X, Y, and Z going on in my life, or, I don't have this, or I don't have the credit. So I think that, like I said, once you constantly post about something real estate related and not just make it all business, make it a little fun, add music to your posts, make it relatable, people will definitely hit you up.
Got it. Cool.
Erica, you said something there, and that there's certain times that these big red flashing lights go off in my head when people say certain things. And the one that I heard you say was people that you don't know are calling you about the thing that you do. Right? If you were a doctor, right, and somebody called you out of the blue and said, "Hey, doc, I've got this rash, and I don't know what it is. It's inflamed, so forth and so on." What would you do?
I would reach out to them, get more information, have a deeper conversation.
As a doctor?
So you said, I will call them in. I will schedule an appointment, have them come in so I can really have a face-to-face. Yeah.
Same thing in real estate, folks. Stop giving away your services for free. You know what? And this is what it sounds like when this happens. You know what, Erica? It sounds like you need what we call a buyer's consultation. I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know your exact needs, but I would love to learn more about that to be able to give you the best advice possible. And I can't do that just based on you wanting to buy a house, because there's a lot more questions I want to ask, and I really want to get in depth in that. Would you mind having a professional buyer's consultation with me with no obligation, and it's not going to be any cost to you? Just coming in, having a 30-minute conversation where we can go over exactly what you're looking for. And if I'm the right fit for you, I'm more than certain to start working for you immediately.
Absolutely. And I'm a dual agent too. So that's one of my things. I work a lot. So I try to squeeze in time to reach out to people. So that's been an issue for me, just finding the time. But like when I get off today, I'm going to start doing some legwork and scheduling appointments for those two people instead of us just having this, social media conversation. So yes.
Before you start showing houses, sit with them with the buyer's consultation.
Yeah.
Because what you do in those things is you lay out the expectations of everything that's going to happen because you are the professional. Same thing as a doctor, right? You know that when you go into a doctor's office, someone's going to hand you a clipboard.
Yeah.
Going to fill out a bunch of information. Why do they do that?
To let you know exactly everything about them that you need to know.
And who's giving that information?
The buyer. Yeah.
Correct. Right. So when we come back to this in 3 to 6 months or wherever that looks like, you can say, hey, when we first met, I know that you told me that you were looking for a 3-bedroom property with 2.5 bath. You've sent me some things that were 2 bedrooms with 1 bath. Have we changed where we're going with our direction and our goals?
Right.
But if we start showing houses to people before we know what they're looking for, we end up in those conversations far too often because we don't have a clear picture of what's going on.
Absolutely, 100%. Oh yeah, I'm not wasting my time just showing. I was a leasing agent years and years ago, so I know better.
Okay, so you get it, right? And that's what that also does. It saves time. Most importantly yours, because Although some folks do have all day and night to look at every house that's
We
on
do
a
not.
block for sale, you do not.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you.
You got it.
I have a question in reference to I don't even know whose name was speaking that said they posted the steps for first time home buyers. I'm not
Yes.
sure who that was.
That was
Erica.
Erica.
I'm sorry. I'm doing hair, so my camera is off. So
That,
I'm here.
no, that's no problem. I had a question though. So
Mhm.
when you do that, would you be afraid that someone may see your post with the necessary steps to buy a home, but they may be talking to a girlfriend of theirs while they're looking at your post and they're out loud, and then someone else is in the room that says, "Oh, I'm a real estate agent. I can assist you with that if you're trying to buy a home." So it's like you've already given out the information, but they go to the person that's the closest to them or in the room. Do you ever worry about issues like that? Or because I'm
Can I
just
jump
trying to
in?
figure out if that may be a good idea. Like, I don't know if I would have said, here are the steps for first
Can I
time
jump?
home buyers. I would
Can I
just say,
jump
if
in
you
there?
want to know the process, I would be like, give me a call. I don't
Stephanie,
know.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna share this with you, and this is a Keller Williams thing, and it's good for life, right?
Okay.
What I hear you
Yeah.
describing is what we call a scarcity mindset,
Okay.
right? And what I mean by that is that person who knows that person, they're in their space, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many other people that are not, and that don't have direct relationship. So we go from that scarcity mindset of the people are gonna steal my clients, to an abundance mindset of the more people I can get in front of, and the better my marketing looks, and the better that I present myself as the agent that is willing to help, the more people that I can bring into that funnel. Does that make sense? Back
It
to the
does.
idea of
Yeah.
putting your name and your business in places that you'll never be.
I understand that. I just went through a situation like that. So that's what the reason why I asked the question.
I 100% hear that. What I would ask you to do is
Mm-hmm.
get that buyer agency contract signed, so that so that they're yours, right? And if they're not going
Mm-hmm.
to be yours, they're not going to be yours to begin with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking for 2 ahas, so we can take that break. We can take it earlier than 7 o'clock in the event that I get those 2 ahas right now. What are 2 things that, if you had to jump off the call, just like poor Denise had to, and I hope she feels better, if you had to jump off right now, what are the 2 things that you got out of this so far, and that you're willing to stick around for, and you're going to come back after the break?
Today's conversation is tomorrow's
Absolutely.
transaction. I really like that
I love that. Thank you, Shay.
tidbit that you
Shay.
said. And also the do the database twice.
Perfect. Perfect.
For me, it was if you know me, show me.
If you know me, show me.
You know me, show
I
me.
was just thinking that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Melody, you got one more, and then we're going to take a break.
I love getting a better mindset on the social media.
Love that. And everybody in the chat, maintain the relationship, promote yourself, and whatever happens is not in your hands at that point. What is meant to gravitate to you will. Where would you find information on being a first-time home buyer? We'll get that answered.
May I ask
Today's
a quick
conversation.
question, please?
Sure.
If you know me, this is Kim Johnson from Chicago, by the way, and I'm really enjoying your presentation tonight. So thank
Hello,
you.
Kim. Thank you.
If you know me, then show me. Can you? I must have missed that.
All right. After the break, we'll dig back in. We'll start right there. Do not let me not move past that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, folks. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. ready to get going again. You know what? Here's a better question. Who needs more time? Oh, nobody? Great. Let's go. All right. So for Kim, who asked that question before we took the break there. Oh, Jennifer, the break was 4.5 minutes and we're back. But for Kim, who asked that question, if you know me, show me. Who wants to come off mute and briefly explain what that means? Joe, I see you're up. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's basically conveying to the person you're trying to establish a relationship with, or you're building relationship with, that you're actually paying attention when they are talking to you. So sending something or just striking up a conversation about a conversation or like a fact that you told them, say, hey, it's my birthday tomorrow, or it's my birthday next week. So just calling them up, hey, happy birthday. You told me it was your birthday. What plans? Just kind of having that connection with them is basically what if you know me, show me is.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was actually, I chimed in probably just as you guys began that conversation. I do recall that. Thank you.
Okay. Floyd, I hope I got it right. I hope I passed the exam.
Gold star.
If I could chime in, it actually, when you said that, I got a flashback to Christmas years ago when my little sister was a teenager. And the year before, all she wanted was makeup, and I got her makeup. And then the next year, I guess she wasn't really into makeup. I don't know. I had moved out on my own. Well, I got her a lot of makeup. And she was like, it's like you don't know me at all. So, you have to keep up with people. What they like at one point might not be what they like in the future. So, like
Tara,
keep up
That's
with them.
adorable. That's such an
It was the
adorable story.
Same thing with my goddaughters when, I thought they were still in the brat stalls and I showed up on Christmas with brat stalls and they looked at me like, who are you? Like, why would you? Right? So same thing. You know me, show me. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to make a plan. Who's with me? Let's get strategic. Touch plans. Design every touch to provide value. We talked about that. We literally just talked about that. So 19 to connect, 36 to convert. So honestly, in today's way of doing business, 36 is not even enough. It's more like 72, because if you think about this, how many times today, simply today, have you gotten something from Amazon? Not a package, but some type of messaging from Amazon. How many times are you hitting? You're not getting, if you go to your email, it's probably in your spam now because you get so much of it, right? It's on average, it's 4 times a day that they're sending something to remind you that they're there. If you're in your social media, between posts, you'll find Amazon or Netflix or all those folks that are constantly contacting you, right? And there's a reason why they do that, because they want mind share, right? If I were to ask you, what is the leading fast food company? Please put in the chat what it is, or raise your hand and say it's whatever. Just share with me what the leading fast food company is in America. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, right? I'm seeing 2 names. How does that become the case? Because they're constantly touching you and they create, yes, ads, right? They're putting themselves, they're putting themselves in a place, right, that collects mind share. That's what we have to do for our clients. So that when somebody says in a chat just like this, who's the best real estate agent you know? It's your name. You're the McDonald's of the chat group. Right? You're the Chick-fil-A of the right? You could be the Burger King. However, I saw a lot more people say McDonald's than they did Burger King. So that's where we want to be in that line. So some of the things that we're going to do, we're going to have 19 touches to connect, and those are going to be quarterly phone calls. We're going to call those folks 4 times a year to remind them of what you do. If they don't have a need for your services, ask them. And I want you guys to write this down because this is the way to ask this question. If you're not asking this question, you are wasting the breath that you are using to get the result you're looking for. I mean it that vehemently. And it is, who do you know that is looking to purchase or sell real estate in the next 3, 6, or 12 months? We are not asking, do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? What's an easy answer?
No.
I know.
No, I don't. I'm going to try it again. Who do you know?
I think I heard about somebody.
What did your brain automatically do?
He started thinking.
For names.
You started thinking, you started going through your mental Rolodex. Oh, I was in a conversation maybe, right? So that's how we're asking that question moving forward, folks, in order to get the desired result. Because it's very easy to say, do you know anybody? And check the box. Okay, I asked for a referral.
Could you repeat the question?
Who do you know that is looking to purchase or sell real estate? Actually, you can take it one step further. Purchase, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 3, 6 to 12 months.
Okay, thank you.
And then they're going to give you a name. Right? That's a desired result. So they give you a name. Great. Jan, would you do me a favor and would you put me in a 3-way text message with that person introducing me?
So that at least I remember to do it.
Right? Natalia, I see your hand up. Joe, I'm going to go right to you after that.
Yes, well, I have a question. I just want
Sure.
your perspective on it. How would you deal with people who either, let's say, unsubscribe from your emails or they tell you directly, thank you, but you don't need to send me your emails. Like, would you, because I have a couple of people and they're very nice people. We've been in communication, but then it's like, thank you, but no thank you. And I know it feels like I should not contact them, but I don't know. What would you say?
In the beginning of this call, I stated with the TCPA and said, basically, if someone's asking you not to contact them, don't contact them, don't contact them.
Okay.
Right? If that person says, thank you, no thank you, please do not reach out to me anymore, that's it.
Because different people, like different experienced agents told me, well, it wouldn't hurt just send them like a happy Thanksgiving text message or something,
That's
just because you
different.
never know where people are. Maybe
Natalia,
they
that's different. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's different than trying to engage in a conversation about real estate. One is saying happy birthday. The other one's saying, hey, you told me to stop talking to you about real estate, yet I think that I have the right to continue to push real estate on you when you told me that's not the relationship that you're trying to have with me. Right? So hear this on a recorded line, move past it, right? Because you're going to spend a lot of time fishing upstream.
yeah, it
Somebody that
feels like that's the right thing to do. When people tell you, leave me alone, that's just focus on other people who are willing and out there.
my mom taught me this when I was a very young boy. No means no. No means no. Find somewhere else to go.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You got it. Joe.
Yeah, so going back to that question to ask people, who do you know, question, and you mentioned about asking them to start a three-way text message to connecting, you know, I'm talking about me. Say if I ask a friend to connect me to the friend they know, I did hear some hesitation. And again, I have to clarify that I'm a new agent. I haven't had a single sale. No, nothing to back me up in the sense of like, you know, nothing to brag about. So um, I heard hesitation in that person's voice when I asked her to say, hey, can you do it? Because she told me that there was a person who was interested. I was like, hey, why don't you do a three-way text and connect me to her? She's like, you know what? I don't want to like kind of say something and something goes wrong and I don't want to get in the middle of it. And so she had that hesitation. So she did say that she'll host something where she'll call her friend over and then we can meet. And she did say that, but I don't know when that's going to happen. But in the meantime, and I know that person, I can reach out to her on my own. So I was thinking that I'll just add her on social media and talk to her saying, hey,
So,
I found out about this. Is
Yes.
that the right thing to do?
As long as that person is not on a TCPA list or do not call list, do not cancel, man, right? Go right ahead. And what I'm saying, and the reason I typically would say what I just said is because you don't know the person, right? Or you have no access to them, right? You don't have their contact information, right? And this person has to be your gateway to them, right?
Yeah.
But in the event that you can get to that person, I would say to that person, hey, Joe, I see that you'll have a hesitancy around making that introduction, and that's okay. Is it all right if I let them know that we spoke and that you let me know that they have this need? If they say no, say, okay, great. Just understand I'm going to go about it a different way, and I'll leave your name out of it.
Okay, got it.
Right?
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
You got it. Aman.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
So okay, I'm a new agent as well. I just started. So my understanding, your first people to reach out to, it's the people you know, the people on your contact list, right? I have started that and feedback has been great. They are like, oh, look at you, congratulations, I'll keep you in mind. So I've been asking like, if you or somebody you know is looking to buy, sell, or lease, let me know. I just got my license and I'm working with Keller Williams. The Keller Williams is a great backup, despite I'm new, because we have a whole team. But my question comes with, I reached them out to them already. They know. So this 19 touches to connect or 36, I keep going to them. Like I keep reminding them I'm an agent. Like do I put them in command? Let's say that way.
Okay. So this is what I would say. One, go back to what I said about not if you know somebody, connect me. It's who do you know, right? Just start there because I heard you say it and I want to make sure we get out of that bad habit. Secondly, so these touches are going to be different. The 4 phone calls, yes, those are going to be, are you guys familiar with the Ford method? Write this down. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Right? So when we're making these touches, we're going to make certain that we're talking about all 4 of those things in each of those touches, right? How's the family? Dane, you're on my screen, so I'm going to pick on you if that's okay. Dane Baxter. Dane, how's the family?
Doing good.
Yeah, everybody's healthy?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm glad to hear it. How's work going?
This is it.
This is work.
This is work.
This is work, but how's it going? Tell me more. What's going on? How's your
It's
day?
good. I'm a new agent. Here to learn how to better my skills as a salesman because I've never been a good salesman.
All right. So it sounds like you're working towards being the best version of something that you've decided to, venture out into. And, Dane, I would love to know more about that. So tell me more about your work.
Okay, well, I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams, Morehead City, Crystal Coast, Keller Williams. So I'd like to get into selling beach homes, like multi-million-dollar beach homes. Of course, everybody here would like to do that.
Absolutely.
And then spin that off into some property management, once I get my full broker's license.
Okay.
And have my own solo firm and
Okay.
branch that out into a firm. So
I love that. So, when we're not working hard and creating your dreams, what do you do in your spare time?
golf and fish.
Golf and fish. Good golfer?
I enjoy it.
Are you good at it?
Not anymore.
Okay. You're a better fisherman then.
Yes.
All right. All right. Hey, yeah, I heard you say that someday that you'll be able to spin out and grow your own place. And then have you thought about retirement?
I'm pretty much retired now. Just I would like to have, be able to buy more of the toys and stuff.
All right.
Like, always dreamed of.
Why is that important?
You can go in deeper waters with a bigger boat.
That's right. That's right.
Bigger fish.
I love that. So you guys see what I just did with Dane. Thank you for playing along, Dane. Right?
Yes, sir.
Typically somewhere in there, that person's going to ask you, right? Let's say Dane's not a real estate agent. When we start talking about work, he's going to ask, oh, how's work going for you? And that's when we throw in, oh, I'm loving it. Real estate is great. Who do you know that's looking to buy or sell? Right? That's how that goes. So that's how these touches are going to look as well when we're talking about the call piece. The 12 touches in the 19, maybe the monthly newsletter, maybe a market report, maybe a video that you're sending out, right? Whether that's on social media or that's in a text message. Otherwise, the 2 touches of those 19, that's going to be promotional direct mail. So you're sending out something that's going to land in their mailbox. The magnet calendar, printed market report, anything that's of value, right? Know me, show me. And even if that actually in the 19 piece, that's not going to be know me, show me. When we get to 36, it will be. One touch annual event, you're throwing a party, a movie screening, or you're just inviting people to a happy hour or something like that you're getting people out. 36 is more that when we're talking about our contacts, right? So those are that 4 touches. We're calling them up and we're going to say, hey, how are you? How you been? We'll do that. We can go through that Ford model as well. There's going to be 26 touches of that bi-weekly. You guys are all in command, so you've seen the bi-weekly neighborhood nurtures. That's where you get your 26. Those are easy. It's I could say pretty much set it and forget it. Unless you have somebody that moves, right? When you sell someone a home and they move to a new location, make sure you're changing that so that they understand the value of their home where they are now, right? Same thing with the 2 touches for the events and get-togethers, and then the 4 touches with the promotional stuff that we're going to send, and that's going to be things that know me, show me. And then there's 1 to cement. That's a high value touch that solidifies the relationship you have just established and opens the door for future interactions. That might be taking someone to dinner or things of that nature. Constance.
Question for the neighborhood nurtures that you just referenced, is that a free service? Because I still haven't kind of.
Yes.
Okay, so you can set up all your contacts for.
It's in your smart plans.
In my smart plans, but the smart plans are what you pay for, correct?
No. I mean, yes, because we have, I can't speak to your market center. My apologies. If you have a market center bill, typically you'll have a tech fee inside of that, and that's all part of that, yes.
Okay, great.
You shouldn't be paying anything extra on top of that other than the tech fee that you have inside of Command.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Does this all make sense so far, folks? Do you need to hammer down anything else?
I have a question.
Please.
Regarding the TCPA piece of it. So where or what website should I look at to determine whether or not a particular number should or should not be on the do or do not call list?
That's the website, and I want to say it's donotcall.org. Please don't quote me on that, but please Google where do I find a do not call list in my area.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good question.
I believe you have to register as well, right? Like you have, it's not a free service?
The agents that I in my market center, yes, have.
Okay.
There's a couple questions in the Chris Carter. Great question. You know what? There is a government shutdown right now that does govern that, so I would have to find out what that looks like. I don't have that answer for you, buddy, right now. But please check in with your broker to make sure, because they will have that answer in your wherever you are in your market center. I don't mean to punt, but I just don't want to give the wrong answer. Fair?
I have
All
a
right.
question.
Yes.
I hope this is not off topic, but what are your thoughts on doing door hangers, particularly when you live in like a 1,300 home development?
How good are your sneakers?
Yeah, so I live in a neighborhood of 1,300 houses. So I've just been kind of going down, putting door hangers on. I'm not really knocking right now because I do live in an area where there's a lot of government workers. So I don't want to disturb them because, everyone out here in the Northern Virginia is kind of on edge. Um, so I just leave door hangers, and my husband's like, "What are you doing? You're like one of those roofers trying to redo your roof." And I'm like, "No, the statistics should be one out of those 1,300 homes maybe will call me." Um, so I
I'd say
just
it's a little higher than that, Nicole.
okay.
And what I would say is, and I'm going to say this, and I want you to hear this with all the love and respect in my heart, is
Sure.
as long as your door hanger is worth a dang, you'll get a call.
Okay.
Right? And what I mean by that is, like, if you just have your name and your face on it, what does that mean to me?
Right.
But if you're saying I can do a consultation or a CMA for your property, a comparative market analysis to tell you what your home is worth today.
Mhm.
I'm your local real estate agent. I live here. I love here. Whatever that looks like. Yeah, I say go for it. I think door hangers is the way to go. And what I would do is I would go employ local help. And by that I mean kids that don't mind running around and making $20 or $40 to do it.
Well, I'm
Right?
gonna laugh at that because I actually have four, and none of them are offering up. $20 doesn't cut the rent, I guess, for these youngsters.
Hey, well, let's think about this. If you were to sell one of those homes, I'm not even sure what the price point is, but what would your average commission be? And then let's think about a percentage of that you're willing to part ways with in order to make certain that those door hangers get out there, and then go from there.
Okay. All right.
Fair?
Well, thank you.
You got it. We're gonna go Joe, then we're gonna go Monica.
So is piggyback on the most recent question about door hangers. Is that considered soliciting? Because there's a neighborhood that I used to live in before, and I know there are a lot of townhomes there, and I was thinking of going there, but then I see their Facebook post about, oh, this kid came to my house and knocked on my door to say he was putting up a lemonade stand, and how is soliciting allowed here. So I just want to I don't want to kind of be on that Facebook post and get negative publicity even before I kick off. So I think I just kind of wanted to understand if I should pay attention to that or just do the door hangers.
I'm sorry, Mr. Floyd, may I just chime in? Because that actually happened to me on one of my door hangers.
Go right ahead.
So I actually kind of got I would like to say a nasty gram. A gentleman in my neighborhood reached out to me via email and stated, please do you not see the sign? I have a no soliciting sign. However, I got him on a loophole because it said, friends, family, and neighbors welcome. And I'm his neighbor. So I referenced him and I was like, I'm so sorry, sir. I said, however, I just wanted to introduce myself and let you know that I am your neighbor. And if you have any real estate needs, I'm your lady. So I can't wait to see him on Halloween because he actually drew a mustache on my face. Like I did probably in like 6th grade, when we crossed people out of our yearbook.
Oh my
He,
God.
yeah, he kind of like, defaced my card. So I'm gonna get a Luigi mustache, and when I introduce myself face to face, it's gonna be a real good time because you have to have a sense of humor. And you never know, I might be his agent one day.
I love it. Love your attitude.
You've got mind share. Right?
I had this happen as well. I was door knocking. I leave the no soliciting sign of a neighbor alone. I'll bypass that one. That's an easy fight. But I had one of them tell me that I shouldn't be doing what I was doing, that I should be ashamed of myself. And I told him, obviously, I've upset you, and that's not my intent here. My intent here is to let you know about your neighbor's open house. But
And here's what I can tell you folks, because when I first started in this business, I did a lot of cold calling. And the thing that I had to remind myself that every street has a jerk on it. I'm not saying these people are jerks, but I'm going to tell you that there's going to be people that talk to you in a way that you wouldn't want to be talked to, or you would typically wouldn't talk to anyone. Every street has one. And I would because I would call streets, right? I get the numbers and I call the entire street. And once I got through that person, I was like, oh, good. The rest of these calls are going to be great because every street has one. If the street has more than one, then I probably didn't want to sell homes there anyway. Right? But what I say all this, and I have kidding me, but it's God honest truth that with 1,300 homes, Nicole, and Chris, I'm not sure how many people were in your neighborhood that you were door knocking. That's going to be the case, right? And I'm sure if you grew up in a neighborhood that had a bunch of people in it, you can think of that person that was on your street that was just that person, right? There was nothing that was good enough, then life was just the worst, and everything that you did was a problem. So just understand that there's going to be that person. There's going to be a lot of people that are happy to hear from you, right? And there's actually more of those folks than there are those that are disgruntled, for lack of a better word, right? All right.
Yeah, I think what I'm concerned about is the negative Facebook feed.
So that's what okay, let's go back to that because I had a point for that. I would get on that Facebook post early, right? Actually, maybe I wouldn't. Here's my advice, and here's not my advice, and you can take either one, right? Either do what I'm about to say or don't do it all, right? Get on that Facebook post and let folks know what you're doing as far as your career, right? Hey, I know that this is not it's a no solicitation zone, and I just want to say that I'm going to be handing out some door hangers this weekend. Me and my kids. If you would rather I not put those on your door, please just shoot me a DM telling me not to do so, and I won't. Right?
Okay.
Or you can go the abundant mindset and just go, or maybe not the abundant, but the just go and do it, right? And let them tell you to your face, right? But be safe. Be safe. First and foremost, be safe, please. Goal setting to the now. Let's jump into this, guys. We got about 30 minutes left of this, and I was trying to get you out early. It doesn't look like I'm going to. Please forgive me. If I have to cut anything, you'll have my information at the end. You can get back to me. Fair? All right. We're going to goal set to the now. We're going to plan our touches. Actually, this is workshop. Do you guys want to jump into an individual workshop, or do you want me to keep moving along? If you want me to keep moving along, give me a thumbs up.
Keep going.
Okay. All right. People have spoken. We talked about smart plans. Yes? Has everybody done at least one smart plan for their database? Actually, better question. Who has not done just put a number 1 in the chat if you have not done a smart plan. Okay. Okay. All right, now put a number 2 in if you don't know what a smart plan is. No judgment. I'm here to help. Okay. Sorry, that I'm supposed to do that. So, smart plans. Smart plans are inside your command CRM. It is on that platform for one special reason, is because it is there as leverage. You can go in and create these smart plans. They used to be called drip campaigns, right? In another world, but we call them smart plans because that first one that you can see on the screen there is called a bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. When somebody tells me that, I want to move to Whistlewood community. I can set up a search for them inside of Whistlewood community, where that allows every 2 weeks for them to get an email showing what the activity is there, the pendings, the solds, the coming soons, and the actives in that area, right? And it helps with understanding the I'm sorry, the price points of the homes being sold there. Now, once upon a time, we used to have to do that by hand, right? And get that information out using our MLS data, but it's all there and connected for you. There's also the birthdays that are in there. You can set your folks on those so that you never miss a birthday. You never miss a house anniversary. You never miss Flag Day, right? So that you're having all of those things done for you. Please, 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 if you do not know what that looks like, write this down, please. Go to Marty Miller's 66-day challenge, where he teaches you exactly how to go through everything in Command, but you can go specifically to the Smart Plan version of that. And Marty will go through that with you on how to set that up. I could as well, but I'm not the best. I'm not the best at it. So if you guys jump in there, that's going to be helpful for your 36 touches. Does that make sense? Awesome. What are your ahas so far?
My aha was the door knocking step, all the info I got from that conversation. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. See, I mean, there's some of you folks are better looking than me, so door knocking is an option where I am not. That was a joke. I don't think I'm that ugly. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the courtesy laughs. Moving on. I need one more aha before I can move on, though.
I actually put myself on a bi-weekly, and again, I'm also a newer agent too, just about a month in, not even. And I just to kind of test it out, the bi-weekly and then the monthly. Neighborhood Nurture is awesome. It's pretty simple, and I think it's something of value. That people will really, I think, gravitate toward, because who doesn't want to know when there's a house for sale in a neighborhood? Maybe a mom is looking for a home for their, you know maybe their older children, or anyone, or maybe her mother who's maybe elderly and wants her nearby. So I don't know, I sent those to myself as a test, and they were pretty awesome. They're simple and not too detailed, so it's something so easy to look at when you receive it.
I appreciate
Incredible.
that. I appreciate that, and I think that that's very smart. I wish I would have said that, and I'm glad that you did. Go ahead and put yourselves on it. You get to see what folks are looking at and see what they're getting, right?
Yeah, and you can choose multiple neighborhoods. And something that our tech showed us is that you can actually draw a map around. If you're looking for the neighborhoods, you can actually draw a map around your area, and then you can click on the neighborhoods around it as well, which was so cool. I mean, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I love that. And you know what? You just made me think of, and might be something for our folks in those Facebook communities, right? I might say to
Uh-huh.
those folks, hey, you know what? I understand that you want me to put my door knocker on there, but if you send me your email address, I'd gladly send you an update every 2 weeks to let you know what the houses are valued
Oh
at
yeah.
in our neighborhood or your neighborhood if you're not farming your own,
Yeah.
right? That might be something that might be of service. Um, Command Kickstart, yes. Thank you, Stephen. Bianca's. Actually, you know what? I'm so sorry. I'm trying to say your name and not say it wrong, and I'm saying it really fast. How do you pronounce your name?
You said it right.
Okay.
um, we were talking earlier about Ford. I know the F was for family, O for occupation. What was the RD?
The R is recreation and the D is dreams. So when I was bothering Dane over there, my guy, he let me know what his recreation was when he told me that fishing and golf, right? And then he let me know what the dream was when he explained to me, like, although he is in retirement now, but if he gets a bigger boat, he may not be showing as many houses or finding as
Gotcha.
much time, right? Yeah,
Gotcha. Thank you.
you got it. All right. Good to move on? All right. Oh, wow, we are early. Look what I did. All right, folks. Have you guys all been doing your daily success system? All right, put a 1 in the chat if you are. Put a 2 in the chat if you haven't. All right. So here's what I want to explain, and I think this might be helpful. Okay. And this is why we do these things. This is why we track things, right? Everybody here has a goal. Give me a thumbs up if you have a goal, whether it's on screen or if it's the emoji, right? I got a bunch of people with goals, a whole lot of people with goals, right? Now I want you to think about goals like this. Right now we're not literally, but let's say this. We were all standing in Los Angeles, right? And we're about to board a plane and we're going to New York, right? It's a one-way flight and there's no stops. And the pilots go, you know what? I've done this flight a bunch. I think I can make it there without any type of GPS or any type of satellite or anything. I think we can just make it. Here's the truth of the matter, and this is what would happen. If those pilots were at least anywhere from 2 to 3 degrees off of their intended goal of being in New York, their intended destination, they would end up in Miami. Why am I saying this to you? Because as we are standing here right now, and you have the goals that you have, and I think that every goal is a good goal as long as it's moving you forward in life. In the event that you have a someday goal of having a bigger boat, looking at you, my man, right? If you're not tracking what you're doing starting now, how will you know you're on track to get there? I'm not saying you have to use this daily success system, but I think it's one of the best ones that we can use in order to do so. So as you guys are going through Ignite here, please use those, right? Just to track what you're doing. Can I get that as a yes, I intend to?
What system was it?
We're
The one that's on the screen, the success system that's here now,
Oh.
right? So where you're tracking your conversations, you're tracking your contacts added, you're tracking your handwritten notes, you're tracking your social media engagement, right? Or anything else that you're doing, which we call enrichment. Because that leads to those last 3 things: the appointments, the agreements, and the closings. We call this a daily 10-4, right?
Can you explain what the 10-5-1 means in the social media engagement? Sorry.
Sure. So that's going to be 10 likes, 5 comments, 1 reply.
Thank you.
Right. So that's what I would leave you folks with, is just knowing that that's so important to the success that we're going to have inside of our business. Anything worth doing is worth tracking. Dane, I'm going to pick on you again. When you play golf, do you track?
Yes.
Do you track, right?
Right.
When you go fishing, do you track how many you catch?
Especially if somebody's with me.
Exactly right. Right? It's the same thing in this business, folks. We want to track what we're doing in order to be able to repeat the success as well, right? When I know that, hey, you know what? I had 10 conversations in September, in the second week of September, that have led to my success now, but in the weeks since I haven't had any. What do I need to go back to doing? I wrote 10 handwritten notes where I got responses from all of them. I got 3 referrals out of that, right? And you can track where your business is coming from only if you do it. Only if you do it. Sandy Madden, you're asking about conversions. What's the question? I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Leads to appointments, agreements, and closings. Closings, yes. Sorry. You're okay. Closings. Okay. Guys, we are having a lot of fun here. I'm going to leave you with the following. This is that warning, do not call us in TCPA. Again, did I jump ahead? Please forgive me if I did. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me. Does that sound like a scarcity mindset or an abundant mindset?
Abundant.
Right?
Abundant.
I would say so too. We do have a role play there. Guys, I'm gonna give you your time back. I'll give you 14 minutes back. Does anybody have a problem with that? If you have a problem with it, put a number 5 in the chat. And if so, if one person puts a 5 in, we're gonna jump back in. I'm gonna get back into the training. That's a resounding no. So we're all good. But here's what I will ask you to do, please, for me. There is currently 114 people on this call. If 98% of you do this, I will be better off in my ability to continue teaching these classes. Just go to this QR code. The event type is in person. I'm sorry, virtual. I wish it was in person. My name is Floyd Turner. I'll put my information in the chat.
Is it 12 nurture relationships or?
Yes. Number 12, virtual relationships. That's how you spell my, oops. This is how you spell my name. I'm also gonna give you my contact information. I'm gonna say this and nobody ever takes me up on it. Well, sometimes they do, but they don't in the way that would be most useful and needed. Is reach out to me if you have questions about anything we've gone over tonight or anything in your business that you feel I can help with.
To reach out to you to offer you a partnership if you ever need a referral in the lower state of Virginia. I'll be very happy to work with you. I don't know if you already have a partner.
You know what? I do have some partners in Virginia, but I don't know that I have one in the lower part of Virginia. And I promise you this, Umberto, if you create the mind share that it's required for me to know that you are my person there, I promise you that you'll be my first call. Because obviously there's nobody on my mind right now that I can think of.
Beautiful.
I'm here. I'm in Northern Virginia.
Nicole, you got plenty to do with those 1,300 homes. I got you. But yeah, if you guys could just do that for me, that would mean the world to me. Last couple things I'm gonna say is this: was this useful or was this helpful?
Yes, thank you
Very
very much.
helpful.
Very helpful. Appreciate it.
Awesome. And then the last thing that I will say is this: I hope that you guys have a great evening, and I want to thank you for being here for me. Thank you for being here for each other, and most importantly, thank you for being here for yourselves. because the time that you spent today is an investment in the future of your business. And as you guys keep going through this Ignite, you're only going to be stronger in what you do. Now,
Boy, can I add something? I'm sorry.
most certainly. Go ahead.
I checked the do not call registry, and due to the government shutdown, the site is down. Well, it says due to a lapse in funding, just so you guys know, I checked it out while we were on the Zoom.
Please check in with your broker on how to best handle that.
Okay.
Just because we come from so many different municipalities and different folks that are being governed in different ways, just ask your broker on the best way to deal with that. Don't take any chances, because I would imagine that that'd be an easy one for them to track when the site comes back up, right? But yes, let's make sure we're checking with our broker to see how we're going to best handle that. This has been a pleasure for me, guys. This is what I love to do more than anything else. So once again, if you need anything, feel free to reach out.
This was a great session. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah,
You're absolutely
thank
welcome.
you so much, Blake.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
I
night,
really
folks.
You do the
appreciate it.
same.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.